as Complexity will stay on the T side. Naturally. It is composed of Roka, Warden, Semphis, Sanks, and Automatic. While for CLG Blue, we have GDM, Taric, Cutler, Hayes, and FNS. With looking at the beginning of this round, we have a stack more towards a B bomb site. So they're going to have to play retake towards A. But everybody from Complexity are setting up for an A push with these two smokes. So again, they're missing that third smoke possibly for jungle. Unless they're smoking the jungle instead of the stairs. Nope, it's going to be stairs and jungle leaving CT spawn open. They're going to try to plant towards the middle of the site, so they're going to have to try to overpower the CT defense. Yeah, there you go. It's planted for A ramp. So this is perfect smokes right now in the way that they're set up. Color never saw anybody, and they were able to position themselves towards Firebox. So there's actually not much information given for CLG so far. So they're going to have to play the retake and go for gunfights and go in blindedly. Automatic with another one, but retaliated by JDM through the connector. The retake is unreal right now because it means that it's not working. Color was stuck inside CT spawn, is now the last man inside CT spawn, and Complexity wins it in an easy fashion with 4 guys still alive.
Sometimes you have to trust yourself to retake. In that situation, they didn't come close. But that's what it looks like when you do pull off that retake. Ideally, you have your person in CT, get a one-shot and a player coming up ramp, and then it's a 5v4 retake. You have a kit. Hayes and Cutler have a smoke each. You can smoke off the most difficult choke points that you need to flush people out of there. Those are apps and A ramp, and then you can kill everyone on the site. You have USPs. It's technically a better pistol, and that's why people play retake on A. Fortunately for them, and fortunately for coL, they were able to push farther and continue to press the man advantage while having the bomb down in the afterplant situation.
Hayes had a great lineup for a second kill. If he was able to get at a fraction of a second more to get that second bullet out there for that 5-7, but at the end of the day, it is going to be a 3 versus 3 situation, but already the huge rotation from CLG, 2 guys inside CT spawn, and we're going to cover that out with that smoke. It should give the advantage for the plant now at the default spot. The boost doesn't seem to be working so far. Finally, it does. Oh, but he falls off and he's spotted, so they know that there's actually 2 guys inside CT spawn. They could focus on that if Finesse falls down with that AK picked up. But they actually still haven't planted yet. So both smokes have actually dissipated, and now they're going to have to run in. Well, they do have a third smoke with Warden, but they're not using it yet. They're just pushing towards CT spawn, and they just get pistol whipped.
We saw the decisiveness there in the 2v3. They're like, all right, we need to start getting kills because our smokes are gone. As you mentioned, they dissipated. And the only way to get the bomb down is if you have a choke point secured. That means you either have to push CT or you have to have jungle connector control, or you know that 2 people are rotating through CT, and they knew none of those things. So they knew that because people were either in CT and connector alive and well, that they had to deal with them, and they couldn't.
They should have went for that smoke. I mean, Warden had 1 left. He should have re-smoked that CT spawn and focused on that connector side, trying to clear out the site. Because that boost, for sure, they knew that 2 guys were in there. But it just left it open and the easier crossfire. But the retaliation comes in from Semphis with a Deagle long range on to Taric as he dropped Warden at the beginning of the round. Scouts coming through as well from JDM, but they will get a bomb plant. They're pushing through towards the window side, and JDM is going to work with his teammate, FNS, and they will come in for the defuse, but they got the bomb plant for coL side, so the money is coming back.
So much momentum stolen in a big way.
Oh,
they got a single kill in that round. They got the bomb down, however. That's going to allow them to salvage their income. As we see, they have got themselves a buy off of that plant. I think this will be no surprise to CLG, who are hanging on to a Galil, a Famus, but have an op. Overall, I'd say the buys are pretty even.
Oh, yeah.
JDM, however, because he has this op and because coL have very low utility, it's going to be hard for them to neutralize him.
Even if I'm not mistaken, that AWP is actually playing towards CT spawn instead of middle. They actually had 3 guys push and cover at mid first for CLG, expecting some sort of push there.
And see what that gives them? Peace of mind.
But
they know all of middle's fine. They know they're not in for a connector split. Maybe it's a full A, maybe it's a walk B, but they know mid is good.
Yeah, but they're still holding that mid side while coL are actually set up for smokes again towards the A side. If they smoke everything right now and execute, there's really only JDM that's already going to be covered by a smoke, so they could actually walk in a lot faster for Complexity. Here comes the call, but the smoke hasn't bloomed yet, and JDM is able to get the pick on Roka just before. But we're retaliating with the mollies, and actually they never really smoked towards the CT spawn. They actually smoked towards the site instead, and JDM being on the ticket booth was able to just take them down easily. I wonder if it was missed smokes. Kind of strange. But at the end of the day, it's a 2 versus 1. Still a winnable round here for Automatic. But coL is just going to hold his angle, and there's only one flash left in the hands of Automatic to get something done. coL peeks out and gets the kill, and it's going to be 3-1.
Now, it's not uncommon to leave CT unsmoked. That's not uncommon. Take control of it, and then you have a round. If they assume JDM is playing window. If they knew CT, they would have 100% smoked him.
Yeah.
No doubt about that. But missing a stairs smoke? I mean, it's not the easiest smoke in the game or anything.
But it should be pretty standard at this caliber.
No, it is the easiest smoke in the game. It's like the easiest lineup ever. You have so much margin forever. I don't even know how you miss a stair smoke.
Shots fired. NA smokes. JDM getting the opening kill. This time he's inside the window. He spots and connects onto Automatic. Then connects onto Semphis. Deagle picked up by Sanks. They rotate back towards the A site, and JDM is watching Palace. There's only one guy lurking there. It's going to be Roka, I think, but he could still get that kill. No, he's just going to go back towards the window side. Warden creeping up. Oh, sees the barrel of the gun. Gets the kill. And is looking for that aggressive push on Catwalk, but nothing there. Spots one in the staircase, so he knows that crossfire is happening very soon. coL, meanwhile, dropping Roka that was lurking towards the hallway. And that double stack on Catwalk was just too much for Complexity to move more than Playmaker or Chair at the connector side.
I think Semphis said the only problems that coL have are ones that they bring upon themselves. You know, they don't feel like talent is a problem with them, but that, you know, if they mess up like an execution, for example, that it's because they mess up the execution that they lost around. You know, that they don't feel like it's a matter of who they're playing with, but how they're playing with their people, or how these people are playing. And here we have CLG going out for mid-control once again. And again, every time you can get mid-control as a CT, you're really golden. I mean, coL's going to have to take a fight here. He's kind of out in the open, but at the same time, he has someone watching his back for underpass. Yeah, he has someone watching top mid as well with him. And Warden, going to get caught off guard. Takes just about 60 damage and will fall off. But that is going to really discourage him from wanting to come out mid again.
The thing is, that setup that they had, that 3-man stack towards mid, is still going to be nothing but rifles. That was actually FNS inside the window. So that means they probably still have the Opper JDM inside CT spawn. But as soon as they spot Warden, they back off actually for Complexity. And they're playing passively inside the site. Now 3 guys are stacked inside A, and they're trying to see if that call's going to come through, but Semphis was lurking up towards that connector, gets the op kill, and Sanks as well. They're slowly clearing out the A site. There's only one more remaining as Automatic takes him down, so it's a 5 versus 2 with one lurking. It's going to be Roka, and the crossfire is real right now for FNS and his teammate. FNS is able to take him down, so knowing that they're inside B, Complexity are now already on the hunt. So we will see a 4-2 score time for CLG Blue still.
Warden was ready to take that fight at top mid. Came back for it.
Yeah.
Said, you want some?
Yeah.
And saw no one there. Mid was like wide open. Semphis came through underpass with that op. To be fair, he had that op in underpass. If someone was just peeking him passively, he probably would have got that kill. But CLG forfeited mid control after doing 60 damage. I mean, they didn't get a kill. They didn't make it 5v4. And they didn't actually secure anything. They actually retreated back into the site and allowed themselves to have to succumb to a connector split.
Wow, they still made it really expensive, though, for Complexity at the end of the day. Even though it was a 5-2, they lost 4 rifles trying to hunt down the last 2 remaining members of CLG Blue. So now they're going to be dropping weapons. They don't have enough utilities as well to work towards the site. And meanwhile, CLG Blue, by actually getting the first 3 rounds, or the following 3 rounds, still have enough money to buy. So this could actually break Complexity one more time if they actually lose this. But Automatic creeps down the ladder towards that balcony, gets the kill, and Semphis takes down the Opper on a CLG side. So this is huge right now for Complexity as a drop-in comes through from Roka onto the staircase. A trade-off, and FNS is last man standing.
That was actually super nice from Tim to come out of apps like that. I mean, they were just going to walk up A ramp and play contact, and it was the perfect time to do it. There was nobody in CT, and that was a super high risk. I guess they knew that there wasn't going to be an op if CLG opted to buy one more time, since coL just won that round, and they were right. I mean, that was a great time to walk up A ramp. They did it, and they connected. There was one person there. He went down without even being able to shoot a bullet. Caught him completely off guard.
Now FNS, they know he's there. He's smoked it out, and he's going to hide towards the left side. Should be open enough for him to be able to save that AK. But the rest of his team, they can maybe go for a double drop if they want to, but I think they'll play it safe. Salvage that rifle that was kept behind by FNS, and the rest of them will have pistols.
They got called out for going for early mid control. Like, fully.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's it. So they saved the AK. They're still going to go for a partial buy, as Tarek's going to go for a scout, but there you go. You don't see any kits. You don't see any rifles for the rest of the guys. It's just pistols, and Sanks gets the opener. And we missed 4 kills. While Warden is watching flank. Tarek last man standing, and taken down by Semphis.
Blink of an eye.
I'm assuming from what happened there, since it died so quick, Automatic had an entry pick probably, and then the rest of them tried to rush towards that A side.
I noticed Farouk, PETA.
Yes.
Sitting behind them. Is all his help in prep, or is he doing anything live? Did he do anything live for NIP?
I'm pretty sure he did. It's just discussions that they have, right, with the in-game leader, whoever was calling usually for NIP as well, whether it be exists, get right at that point. Farouk was definitely there as a support in terms of the discussions. But now it's a 4-on-3 situation in favor of CLG Blue. Sanks is actually creeping up towards this A ramp. He's going to head-to-head, get the headshot onto Hayes, but he's dinked himself, so he's low, but he manages to get the second dink onto Cutler. So the A side is now open. JDM whiffing the shot towards the jungle side, so they know that the Opera's there. Bomb plan is going to come in easily. And will that kill him? Too far behind.
Wow.
And they're still going to maybe try to go for exits at least, unless they're able to get at least 1 kill. You'll see that retake.
Sanks with that world-class recoil control. Getting that second frag, that was huge.
So they do get the nade kill. This spam comes across. It's a 1 versus 1. Warden hiding behind a firebox. FNS does not have a kit, so he has to push in and try to get the kill, and Warden plays it smarter, holds that angle, gets the frag, and Complexity is in the lead.
Wow, they do steal it back. I mean, Sanks getting the opening 2 frags meant that round probably shouldn't have been close, but at the same time, that was right after JDM got 2 of his own. So it was a 3v3. It was a high-impact round. JDM missed a crucial shot, though, after that. And that's kind of the only thing you remember. Because he gets those 2 kills, but then he misses the easy one on the player crossing.
And I would have put it at a 2-on-2 situation, a little bit easier for them to retake for sure.
That was like a I'm looking at radar moment. Really unfortunate. I mean, there's just no way he's too slow to miss that shot, but he probably wasn't paying attention at that moment. Maybe he didn't think someone was going to cross that. As it happened, and got punished for it. Wow, Semphis full blind A ramp, but covered perfectly by Sanks.
Oh,
wow.
Sanks is doing good there with those burst shots.
Insane rifler.
With the headshot. Then Hayes,
whoa!
Doing the same thing. Whew. Headshot, then a 1D onto Warden, and it's a 3 versus 2 so far. No armor being purchased, so it's a pretty decent pistol buy for CLG so far.
Man, his deagle was still...
Whoa! Make that 3, ladies and gentlemen. And now he picks up the AK-47. Welcome. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Hayes.
Welcome back from your wedding. Just kidding. You didn't get married, but you came back from a wedding. You get a 3K. You show that you can make a difference. Bomb is now planted. He's finally taken down, but this is such an expensive round for Complexity. Because they lose 3 guys.
Because of Hayes.
And they lose an AK-47.
They don't lose hope.
They don't, because they're in the lead now by 2 points.
Yep, by 2 points. So it's still really on CLG to prove they can do it. And it seemed like CLG had a way with Mirage up until the point that coL were able to win a couple of rifle rounds. And suddenly, it's just become 4 rounds. And now CLG have to find a way to reinvent themselves. Will they go for early mid-control again? Then they're susceptible to A-ramp walk-up. Do Complexity want to do that again? Contact A? Do they have the spawn for it? Do they expect an op? They should.
I love this hype from you, Wanderers.
I appreciate that.
So Roka's going to be at the point. He's going to try, hopefully, to catch somebody off guard, but that incendiary grenade from the CT side will definitely hold him in his steps while the rest of the guys are working towards this middle area. So we might see an underpass trying to connect and take control of this mid, especially now that the upper B is smoked out. They really want to try to get an entry up towards connector or the catwalk. So it's going to be automatic at the point. The smoke dissipates as Roka peeks out and gets the kill to Tarek, though, so that changes things actually for Complexity. The bomb is already making his way out towards his B bomb site. The liner comes through, but the spray does not connect for Finesse. And Automatic is still lurking around. At this point, it's a 5-on-3. So Automatic is now taking the role of that lurker up at connector.
What Complexity have right now is confidence on all sides of the map. They're able to take late mid control. They're able to take walk up A. They're able to hit B off a split, off of no information. Just walk in and get the entry. Their entries have been on point. Sangsington, Warden, Roka, Automatic. I feel like they've all gotten entries.
And this is still getting expensive again. I mean, they're going for the chase and they're losing guns as they're hunting him down.
That's true. They have less players alive right now than CLG. Overall, it's a round loss, a round eaten, but you don't have to think about the economy for next round. Obviously, CLG are buying. The thing is that was a really nice round for Complexity to get into the site. They didn't want to let CLG save because they think, all right, if it's a buy save situation. If we win this round and we kill them all, then they're saving next round. That's a 2-for-1. Worth the chase. They ran the risk, and now they have to go up against 2 ops. Oh, doesn't matter. What a shot.
It doesn't matter. Saints gets the first kill onto JDM, but retaliated back from a nade of Cutler. So it's nearly 4 versus 4. Tarek is going to recycle that AWP. Could still be a definite alternate opper for Counterlogic Gaming. He's going to refocus back and really not move his position. He's just going to stay towards that A site and support his teammate where JDM has fallen behind. They actually leave middle open, so they have full control now for coL, and they could decide to go towards either A or B, but no matter what site that they're going to walk into, there's going to be a 2-man stack.
Tarek now with the op. Can hold down the other side if that's where he is. Hayes actually picks up JDM's op, and it looks like Warden will go down. Cutler has the bomb now, and will take down Roka A ramp, leaving Automatic all to himself. FNS cleans him up. 4 alive for CLG. A quiet victory. Didn't see an execute, a walk up A ramp, a walk out of Palace, a walk into connector, all shut down. This 2-op setup could be fruitful. The most rounds they can get is 8. It's not a fantastic half. They still have 3 to go. Complexity could still get 10. It's a lot of things to think about.
Oh, definitely. So let's see what happens with that. JDM does get the opening kill onto Semphis as Automatic is looking to lurk through this smoke. There's 2 guys just under him. Gets an opening shot onto JDM. Looks under, could not connect onto Hayes, though. But Cutler is still close towards this A ramp. Job is not done yet, though, for Complexity.
It's like an entry 5 rounds in a row. Like, on any side of the map. Sang's walking up A ramp twice. Once getting 2 frags. Automatic walking out of apps twice.
Yeah, they're trying to go for this mid control and then split into A. So they're going to have to smoke towards that catwalk. They are re-smoking window. Nice shot by Roka, but I don't think they smoked that cat. So this gives a chance for Warden to lurk out. He hears the footsteps from Cutler, so he's aiming straight towards that A ramp. He does get the kill. Oh, no, that's Roka onto FNS, sorry. And then Tarek opts him to support his teammate Cutler. So at least the audibles will be called, and we know where the last 2 guys of CLG are. Smoke out CT spawn. There's not enough time, or not a lot of time left on the clock. Cutler manages to take down Sangson. That's going to leave Roka with the op. Misses the shot. Thankfully, he runs into the smoke, and Tarek going for the quickscope with 1 HP remaining. And that should have been the round, but saved by Tarek, thankfully.
Pretty good round overall. We had Roka come up A ramp. We had actually Complexity started off 5v4. That player got traded out, however, 4v4. Then we had Roka come up and kill Hayes that triple, who was waiting for him to make it 4v3, and CLG win with 2 players alive. The thing is that they can take all this momentum and only end up with 8 rounds.
And now Complexity is back on a save. So they only have a small armor for Sangs. He does have a deagle, but they have no nades to work with, so they're just going to have to run through. Tarek getting the op kill onto Warden from the CT spawn, gets a second one onto Automatic. Deagle does not come in fruition. And Tarek with another one,
4
AWP.
Kills. Huge 4K with that op. Maybe I should say huge. It was an eco round. but everybody that he kills is maybe a teammate saved.
It was still a big 5-man push, though, right? So he had
Eco
to
rounds of a 1, you're right.
You whiff one, and you put your
one,
team at a disadvantage
and
because
it's all
everybody's going to
over.
be close range.
So many times. You miss that first shot, site is formed, all your teammates are dead. So nightmare relived.
Double up set up here for CLG,
Whoa.
and 2 of them die simultaneously, thankfully, from Finesse. Finesse was on that flank coming in from the underpass, switches to the CZ to get a third, and this is looking to be CLG's win for the half. But at the end of the day, 7 rounds for Complexity on T side, not too shabby.
Like, considering how dominant this round is, last round of the half, CLG want another round. They want another CT round. If it were to go into a 16th round here, Complexity would be saving, right? CLG have, in these last 3 rounds, shown that they can have really dominant CT rounds. They've done it in a row. They've done it versus many setups. They've done it versus an AWP. They've done it 4v5. But now, they don't really get the full benefit of winning these rounds as decisively as they are. Like, they're just going to go into the next half with their pistols and have to do it from T side 8-7. It's not as bad as it sounds. I'm making it sound pretty bad. It's just not as good as it could be.
Yeah, FNS getting actually a 4 kill at the end of the half as well. His aggressive flank or his aggressive push overall to catch them off guard at the underpass and nobody there to really watch it. Great round there for FNS to come back and help the team win this half. But still, they only have 8 rounds of CT side. This is CLG's map choice, though. What would it look like for them on T side? Do you think they struggle a little bit more, or is this being the favorite map for CLG?
I don't think so necessarily, but like there's the thing about like you get the pistol and then you get the first rifle round and then you have 5 rounds in a row, right? And then it's 13-7. They have 8. Yeah, it's 13-7.
Yeah.
And then it does. And then it's just 1 more round. You're 1 away from match point. Like it can be that quick, but they have to do them in succession and they have to do it starting from the pistol. Otherwise, it's a hard road back.
This is going to have to be important for Warden and how they're going to call it on the pistol, though.
But it's so easy to break the money of the CTs. Much easier for the terrorists to do it, and that's why we see maps be CT-sided.
Full 5-man push right now for CLG, but that incendiary grenade is going to hurt 2 of them. They're going to drop in. JDM getting the first kill into Warden, and JDM still going to work as the raid boss. That's already 2 down. Now he's going to try to say it has to be all on Warden and how he's going to call this pistol. Because if there's going to be a 5-man push that we usually see on Mirage, it's very hard to hold on pistols. Usually would have to gamble to say we should stack it or not. He decided not to. They lost 2 players. Bomb is now planted. Roka is gooshed.
Now Cephas sees a couple players here. Very low, holding these corners, waiting for trades. Roka getting a kill, and now it's a 2v2. We have 1 in Apps, 1 on Cat. He's not in the best spot. Can't actually defend the bomb from here. Finesse gets hurt in Apps. Cephas is going to have to hit the jumping shot of his life to kill.
They have no kit, though.
Tarek gets a frag, and that's it.
At least they get all 5 of them down, but the bomb is going to go off, and it's going to be 8-8 overall. He thought maybe he had a chance.
Yeah. They just delayed long enough. You see that retake? What was that, like 2v5?
Yeah.
I mean,
2v5 to a 2v0. Of course,
that's
the bomb went off, but still, it's
that's a 0 RWS round, boys.
Yeah. Yeah, at the end of the day, it still is.
And the impact even from killing, you know, players on the pistol is you get a little bit of money, right? At least there's that. Like, they have money for scouts, flashes, and stuff like that for their buy. It makes this buy a little bit nicer. Like, Cephas actually has armor, like half armor with his scout. That's something.
And at the end of the day, even though that they lost all of their players for CLG, it was still smarter because they had the time in their favor. They just wanted to play Ring Around the Rosie to have this bomb blow up. Doesn't matter how much they spent, they just wanted to get the round. So they went for the Tech 9 drops, they went for the armor on the first round, gives them enough for a bomb plant. And then also by getting that bomb plant, they have enough for SMGs, an AK, a scout. But the full bag also comes in for Complexity, as you do have a glass cannon scout actually for Roka. And a double scout setup actually, interestingly enough, for Complexity. 1 tagged, 1 down. Pushing through, he tags another one. Roka is on fire with this scout. Meanwhile, though, it is still a 1-man advantage. That should have connected. The no-scope does not work. Cephas gets the headshot onto JDM. Sees another one cross over. It's a 2 versus 2. Tarek actually has 4 HP. This is still winnable right now for Complexity. They don't have a kit though, so they are going to have to work quick. And Semphis misses the jump. So that's going to make him lose about 10 seconds there on a rotation. They're going to go for the possibly the double cat.
Oh, it looks like it's...
oh my god.
Ultimately a save now. I mean, I don't know. I guess our Automatic is just trying to catch a rotator here.
Okay, he just dropped to pick up that Galil.
He had it.
Oh, he had it?
Yeah, he had it.
Okay. I guess because they actually had no kits with the time that was lost with Semphis missing that jump onto Catwalk.
Yeah, they had a moment there. So if Semphis hits that jump, then maybe they can come on Cat and get that kill immediately. Like, there's low HP on CLG. It's probably called... Scout tags were out. They did so much damage with the scouts.
Oh, yeah.
They made it a very close round. I mean, they wish they won that. It's shroud casting, yes.
So now you have Semphis and Automatic with the guns that were saved rounds before. The rest of them have P250s, no armor. It's still pretty default right now, though. Utilize Warden playing that van side for the jump peaks. 3 guys set up inside the upper B halls for CLG with the bomb as well. So Warden will have to make the right call, but we're not overextending for CLG side yet. Now Warden's going to spot him. Here comes the push inside. We already have a rotation. I think there's 3 guys actually inside B, and Roka gets the opener. Pushing through is going to be JDM and Tarek finally clearing it out, and the B side is open for business.
Wow, that's that third guy in the back getting killed by Tarek with that spray was very nice. Semphis and Automatic once again recycling their guns from last round. Not looking to do damage, looking to get kills. Going to be buying up next. CLG off to a proper start here.
Nothing more they could get out of that, but
I think CLG won, or CLG lost the first rifle round in the first half or second, and someone told them to disband. Can you believe it?
Standard in a Twitch chat.
Can you believe it?
I can, because it's Twitch chat. 11-7 is our score in favor of CLG. coL trying to move up now with this team to take mid control. They also once again have people towards the B hall, so they are focusing again on this B take. And Semphis, though, gets the opening on the Lurker up at the Palace. So this is going to be a great start for Complexity this round here. CLG trying to take control of this mid. They're going to smoke up towards that connector and try to hit that catwalk. But we still have one more posted up there. That is Sanks, if I'm not mistaken, through the eyes of Semphis. He does get the kill on to coL. Now as every smoke dissipates, it's going to be harder for them to hold. Hayes trying to go for that refrag after his teammate has fallen down behind him, but Automatic says no, gets a double kill with now FNS, the last man standing. He's going to try to repeat exactly what his teammate has done.
Tim looking really proficient with that rifle.
And Automatic just on point the way he's playing that connector for that round.
They shut him down, 5 alive. That's an economy builder. That's a team exercise, right? That's a team building exercise on that round. They were able to handle everything individually. They didn't have to use a lot of utility. They're able to just hit their shots every peak that came out. And CLG, you know, showed one of their cards by running into a default and trying to take those opening frags. They tried to pick them apart and got picked apart. This is turning into actually a round save for CLG. All that economic damage that coL did shows in this round with the buys that we see from CLG. Sometimes we take those eco frags for granted, even if you don't win, or especially when you don't win. But you see the result, you know, it's kind of a tidal wave effect. You see that result on the round after a buy, after you lose, when you don't have any money left over.
So now they have set up for smokes. They have 3 smokes. What they could do right now is smoke that staircase, jungle, and CT spawn, or they could smoke closer. Oh, look at that peek by Roka, though, after that smoke. And JDM trying to run through it. Bomb carrier is now down. That's 1 smoke less as they weren't able to execute. So great timing by Complexity to actually counter-strat what they were attempting to do. With those 3 smokes, I was going to say they had 2 options for CLG. Try to smoke those 3 spots inside A and retake and take over, or just to smoke closer towards the site, just enough for them to run close and get the plant at the middle of the site. But at the end of the day, it's still Complexity holding this site so well.
Yeah, it's a really good one-way because that's a place where people line up a jungle smoke quite often. So if someone's going to do a full A and you throw that one-way smoke at A ramp, you can always kill that guy trying to throw a smoke jungle. Just completely ruins your plans. You see that they see the person throwing the smoke, they know it's going to be a full A hit, and that forces CLG, knowing that they don't have any other mid control, to just execute a strat, which they ultimately know is going to fail. Huge informational play. But again, that was buying what they can that round because they didn't have a lot of money. CLG, even with the pistol, don't have a lot to show for it. Still aren't necessarily working from behind, have a 2-round lead. But here on this round, don't have the greatest of buys either. I mean, maybe spending a little bit too much money last round if it is the case that coL doesn't have enough money for a rifle, if Hayes doesn't have enough money for a better rifle, but maybe that money was displaced, maybe on another teammate.
Roka opener towards that A ramp again, pushes it and takes down Tarek. The rest of them are taking mid control for CLG. This mix buy is not working, except for now JDM finally even things up, by dropping Semphis. And they're just going to slow down their roll just a little bit here for the T side and reassess now. Looks to be an A take. You do have mid falling back from upper B as well, so it's going to be possibly a 2- or 3-man push-up A ramp and one lurking hallway.
So here we have, yeah, we got a smoke on JDM and Hayes. This is like, you could smoke off right side right here, jungle and stairs, take connector. It'd be the perfect play for the way that coL are set up right now because they have no one in CT. You could plant for CT, take control of it. JDM could push all the way up. 1 smoke comes up, 2 smoke comes up. Right side site is smoked out, and it's all going to be on Roka, who's actually in a pretty good spot.
He's done it before. He draws the bomb carrier, so the rotate's going to be real for coL this time. He re-peeks, but JDM waits with that op. Retaliated back by Automatic onto his teammate just behind him. Now there's just not enough time on that clock. It's dwindling down under 20 seconds as FNS evens it up on a 2 versus 2 op shot missed by Automatic, but now they force him out with that molly being thrown, and Sanks manages to get the kill, and that molly does not hurt him. JDM misses the quick scope, but at least he gets the plant. He gets the no scope. 1 versus 1, op versus op, and it's going to be JDM getting the no scope toward that clutch. 2 versus 1.
4K, the 1v2 on around that. Roka delayed long enough at Sandwich so that Tim could rotate all the way to CT with his op. He got in a good spot. He got a kill. He made that round really, really tense. And then CLG threw a great molly to flush him out. And JDM had 2 up-close no-scopes to end the round with. A 12th round on the board, a really crucial round. That was almost a round that would have left them in a tie if CLG had lost it.
Well, CLG Blue definitely showing that they do have a strong T side, thankfully for players who are able to step up. As now they're just trying to have complexity waste their utilities.
The full A is coming out. This is rough. We have Automatic ready to push
in
this
a good
smoke.
position though.
Oh, gets 2 kills for it too.
Now he's heading back towards Trip Box, but he still has support from Roka. He's going to push towards the Sandwich, gets a triple kill. Trying to go for a quad, and he will be able to do so. And just like that, they retaliate. And this could possibly, again, reset the economy of CLG.
Wow. Tim just put on a clinic.
Yeah.
Coming out the side of that smoke, getting that first kill sneaky, pushing out wider, getting the second one, going to triple, killing Sandwich, and then coming around the left side of default and killing Apps. Just everybody in the site. And Tim hit him with 4 different angles. That's rough.
That's a great way to destroy morality, or morale, should I say,
yeah.
After such a big clutch
Absolutely,
by JDM.
That's a morale killer.
Sorry, I'm French.
Uh-huh. Croissant?
Oui. Non, mais c'était très bien ce qui est arrivé. Hein. JDM a eu les 4 kills au début.
Yes.
Et après ça, Automatique a dit non, je les arrête tout de suite.
Comme ci, comme ça.
12-10 is our score in favor of CLG. On the save now, no armor. This is a map that coL is looking to win to upset CLG. This is the first map in the best out of 3 in the grand finals, and what a good way to start this series.
Automatic roaming now. Oh. He's playing very confidently, like, he's just making judgment calls here as to where he thinks something's going to happen. It looks like he's going to take initiative with this flash, but he actually will get punished. Just comes out a little bit too late as the smoke is dissipating, and Roka, though, ready to clean up, sitting in CT, a really good spot. Also gets 2 kills, doesn't take any damage, or maybe it's a little bit. Wow, coL, though, answering back. 3v3 now. Site's taken. CT's actually wide open. They don't know this. The bomb is still at A ramp.
JDM has a great lurk position, but they're rotating through CT spawn. He's not going to be able to find anybody going through the vents, but he's going to be able to flank him. Sanks is actually at the connector. The bomb is now planted. They managed to get the kill on the trip box, but the flank is still real inside the CT spawn. He's going to go for that first kill, trying to get as close as possible. Now it's a 1 versus 1 at the default box, and Sanks will be able to take it, but this is a great save round there for a CLG. 4 kills of plant, no armor. That hurts the economy of the counter-terrorist side.
coL really put on the pressure there from that 1v1. I mean, he could have delayed a little bit longer if he wanted to. He had to take the fight at some point from the right side of default, try to peek up on the stairs, kill Sanks. Sanks is strong, strafe shot him, and with a little bit more patience, I think coL could have pulled him off of the stairs. But I think he wanted to catch him at the perfect moment, where he was falling, couldn't do it, lost. coL firing on all cylinders. CLG R2. I mean, everybody's hitting shots.
Here comes flashes for them to try to take this mid control, but they peeked a little bit too early. So there was a team flash, but they've taken control of top of mid for CLG now. Sempis trying to look towards the underpass as they know that FNS is really good playing that area. Decides to fall back. Gonna stay calm just for a bit with a little bit of pre-fire from both sides, but still no face-to-face contact yet.
They still have a player on Cat and Connector, so they have passive eyes on mid. I mean, we got 2 players below them, but those aren't really great spots without smokes. You don't put a smoke on Cat, you're not getting up Connector. You don't put a smoke in Connector, you're not getting up Cat. And FNS spots one in window and gets spotted for it. Doesn't do enough damage to make it worthwhile. Doesn't actually do any.
Yeah, by not enough, it's 0. He wasted bullets. He fired blanks. But they're going to execute now towards this A side. 4 guys already at the A ramp. There's that first smoke for CT spawn.
Ask your doctor about Cialis.
Jungle and staircase is also smoked out, but Roka playing close range, getting a trip kill. Finesse is now the last man standing with 20 seconds left on the clock. Automatic peeking out. And that is it. We're now to a tied game, 12-12. And things are looking good for Complexity.
That was a textbook round from CLG in the sense that they went out mid, they went for mid control, they tried to sneak one person into Cat or Connector, try to open up the round, get it 5v4, fall back and hit a site. But when they fell back to hit a site, they didn't have any kills because none were given to them.
Yep.
No control was taken or kept, no split was made, no kills were made, and that made that hold a lot easier for Complexity, who, beyond that, obviously just hit a lot of shots.
Nice shot by coL. Headshot onto Sempis with the deagle. The silver op against the op at window. He gets a second one onto Sanks. And Tarek then onto Roka. This whole save again is going to come in favor of CLG. This is the second time the Complexity is about to throw just a pistol by against CLG. Warden's about to creep up towards that CT spawn. Tarek's just around the corner. At least he doesn't take any damage. It's a 3 versus 2. Bomb is yet to be planted because they actually pushed all the way towards that B-bomb site, and they're in perfect position to go post plant and save. Automatic at this point will just have to get this kill up that window. Misses. Never shot. Gets the first one close range. Notice the other one is close by as well. He needs support, but I don't know why he pulled out that molly just before. And at least Warden gets the kill. 1 versus 1. The smoke comes through. Warden actually thinks it's at the upper, but now he's just behind FNS. It's not shooting.
He doesn't even know he's on it.
Oh, man.
Oh,
and then
that's
he
a rip.
whistled
Does
the
he get
shots.
away?
I don't know. Warden says, yeah. I got it. It doesn't sound like he was pissed that he got killed or anything. So I think he was able to save his gun. I love guessing while we're casting.
We'll never know.
Yeah. We'll just have to look back at the demo.
That smoke, it's just a, I don't know if it's a glitch or if it's on purpose, but if you diffuse in a smoke, sometimes you cannot hear the person diffusing.
Unless you hit the tap button as soon as it blooms, then that kind of covers it sometimes
too. It doesn't just kind of cover it, you just can't hear it at all.
Well, there you go.
So I don't know if it's a glitch or not, but.
And LAN environment. So Complexity's back in the lead. 13-12. But again, another expensive round. If they actually lose this one, I'm not sure what the money situation is. But Complexity could possibly be in a position where they might have to save the round after, should they lose this round, with all 5 guys actually dying.
No one actually towards A. If they wanted to push it, they could. They have the information, no. FNS is in, underpass, but it looks like a full execute is imminent. They have to deal with someone on Cat, and it looks like they've made noise. Warden has spotted this peak. They've heard footsteps. He's going to get mollied out.
He's counter-flashing at least. So he's going for the jump peak, but if he does one more jump, JDM might be able to pick him off with the AWP, or as soon as he jumps again, there's going to be 4 guys there. But Cephas is zopping from the catwalk side. He's able to take the first one. Now it's traded out. 2 for 2. Cutler now making it a 1-man advantage for CLG. Quickly evened up by Roka.
Oh, I feel like Evanes could have taken more time there if he wanted to. His teammates got so many kills, and originally it looked like Complexity were about to hold it really well, and maybe that's why he sped it up. But if he just like took his time, he could have just got like a late flank and guaranteed. But either way, JDM gets his kill, and Ats is going to allow CLG to have a huge advantage now coming into this.
Yeah, the shoulder peek was just a little bit too much. A miss throw of that molly. He wanted to throw it a little bit further in the back of the site, but it catched the top of the roof there of that B site. So it's going to be impossible, nearly impossible for Automatic to win this one. He does manage to get the first kill, but that clock is dwindling down. And that's it. JDM gets the op kill. So it's going to be a 13-12 score. Not sure. I can't really see that money situation going up on there, but you do hear those buys coming through. So it's going to be a gun round. No, it's going to be pistol buys for Complexity. So they did not have enough money due to the fact that they actually lost 4 players on the round that they won previously. So this is going to give a big chance for CLG to regain the lead in this game.
Oh, Tarek shuts down the app push. They don't know that it's going to be a full layoff of that. Tarek can lurk apps once in a while, so it won't cause any rotations actually, which is really great for him. Now Tarek gets a second kill, and now they can just execute. I mean, they know that there's only going to be a maximum amount of 3 people alive. Like, even if they're all stacked at A, they still have a big advantage. They're waiting for pushes. They won't find any. Now they're pulling rotations. Will they throw smokes?
Nice pit. That's going to be now 3 for Tarek for the hat trick. And still, they're not really executing. They're just letting the guys peek out. Tarek says, "Let me show you how it's done." So he's moving back here towards the T spawn and waiting for his teammates to possibly execute back towards this A6, because you called it here, Launders. I mean, well, maybe not at this point with them falling back. They're saying, okay, maybe it's a 5-man stack, so let's just go back to B. That's why you saw Tarek rotate back, just crouching towards the T spawn. And indeed, they are moving towards this B bomb site. FNS gets the jumping headshot onto Warden. So it's close to be a flawless round for CLG Blue.
Yeah, at a crucial time. They're going to be at 14. They got the bomb plant. They hit 5 alive again. Quite a bit of money moving into what could be match point. Did Tim get spotted? I mean, he just took a little bit of damage. Literally 6.
Literally.
Like, that should be more spammable, I feel like.
He was able to get 1 kill at the end.
Why do they play with their keyboard like that? If they mean like the wing setup, it could be you have more support having your whole arm on the table. Also, you save space by having your keyboard on the side. Having space is good for LAN, especially. coL defaulting almost every single round here. One person coming out mid, though, however, Automatic and Semphis. Going to be watching underpass and top mid. 2 players from CLG at A ramp. Does this mean someone will do a B fake into underpass split? It won't actually favor them, considering they have coL have so much presence towards mid, though. They are starting to give that up. We see teams do this, like go for early mid control. No one comes, they just give it up. They don't actually push anyone top mid. They just fall back passively into their sights.
There are a little bit more hiding spots there for A side and B, so it's okay for them to crunch back and set up that crossfire for the CT side. But now as they peek back out, they're trying to take this mid control. They're being spammed through the wall, and looks like Semphis might be dying quite soon, but Roka gets the headshot, mag 7. And just like that, Semphis still survives, actually, and gets the op kill onto coL. Just like that, JDM's the last man standing. Complexity kills him. And it's now 14-14, and I think the money is reset in turn of CLG this time, which could put them at map point.
Strat right out the gate. They had the op posted up in apps. They had 2 smokes go over B, 3 people in B apps, 2 going underpass to split into the connector. A full-on strat right out the gate. Why am I being laughed at?
I don't know, you just decide to, you saw that you were going to be on the stream, and then you just looked at the camera and be like, I'm on it. Continue, please.
5-man strat shut down.
Yeah.
Connector split completely pooped on.
We'll have to look and see what the money situation is for CLG for real, but I think that they're broke. If they're broke and they're going for the pause right now, they're going to try to figure out what they want to do, because they won 1 pistol save already with no armor. They almost won the second one, but unfortunately, due to the diffuse sound that wasn't heard by FNS, they didn't, but it was close.
Yep.
They could do it a 3rd time in a row, and if they do so, CLG are going to be broke, and Complexity are going to be broke, and Complexity cannot get those ecos against CLG yet, because we haven't seen it. And if that's going to be the point, then CLG is going to win this map. But
game defining moment.
Yeah.
14 with a chance for a 2-for-1, right?
Yeah. So now it's the decision is, should we save our guns and maybe play for the overtime? Or save our money and play for the overtime? Or should we try to go for the gamble with the pistols, maybe even armor as well? Because coL has been on point with the way he's been dealing with the injuries on those pistol saves. That's actually what opened it up for them. It's just that depends how many guys are going to lose after that. Can they get a plant? Can they set up for a post position after? If not, just go for an all-out rush, try to get a bomb plant, get more money, and play for the overtime. It is their map. It could be comfortable. They've been looking well on T side.
What would you do? Should you go for the force?
I wouldn't go for the force. At this point, I'd probably play for the overtime, play for the tie.
It's probably the smart thing to do.
Like I said, you have the confidence on your side in terms of pistols already, so if you want to just invest in Deagles and P250s,
you can still win the round.
Exactly.
You can still win the round.
But don't invest that extra 650 or 1,000 for armor. Don't go for the utility nades. Maybe a flash or a smoke if you're going for pistols for a support player to execute for you to get those entries. But aside from that, I don't think you should get more. The goal is to get the bomb plant now.
Sure, yeah. They could still win the round. And then from that perspective, they spend a little bit more. They spend all their money. They go all in. They force up. They don't have all the utility they want. They could maybe win the round with a little bit of a higher percent. Or they could play for the tie much safer. Guarantee they get to 15. I don't know what their decision is going to be. I actually don't. It's very tempting when you're on 14.
Yeah. And we see that a lot. I mean, a lot of the teams would actually go for a gamble. Especially if it was actually Complexity. If we were in Complexity, we're at a point where they're going to pause and say, should we go for a save or should we go for a buy? Most times we'll see them on a buy.
As an IGL, you always feel like it could be a little bit greedy. You know, you are speaking for your team. It could be a little bit greedy to say, all right, we're buying here. But the buy's not too bad.
Yeah, but it's for the round after. That's what we need to figure out, too.
JDM actually has no armor on his op on T side, which is rough. Hazed only has a Tech 9. Not the biggest deal, but coL taking a little bit of damage. That's a big deal. Sanks also finishing him off. That's a big deal. The B split, though, Warden's very hurt.
That's a big deal, too. Tarek retaliated onto Warden. 4-on-4 situation. But Automatic is still playing towards that catwalk side. Bomb is now going to get planted, so things are actually looking good for CLG after all. Those smokes are going to prevent them from pushing through. They're going to have to peek one by one. But Automatic is still able to get that M4 kill. At least it's traded out by the Flames. He says, I'm not going to go down alone. Op shot, leg. And then it's saved by FNS. Now Roka's going to have to be on a 2 versus 1. Now a 1 versus 1. This could have been a 1 round for CLG if it wasn't a leg shot. But Complexity, sorry, if it wasn't a leg shot from Semphis. And now it is map point for CLG. And Complexity are broke.
15-14 after that. Complexity are broke. Automatic has an op. Semphis isn't going to be using it after shooting that man in the leg. If we look at CLG's buy, it's pretty bad as well. Like, they have 2 Galils. They only kept 1 alive on that last round. The point of that round, though, was to get a round on the board. I mean, no matter what, they're going to be ahead in some regard. But, oh my goodness, if that op shot connected... just above the hip.
Just above the hip. But now it's going to be an aggressive push, but Automatic is opting towards B this time. He holds it back, whiffs the second one, waiting for some backup. He's by himself, cannot connect onto Tarek. Rotation is real right now. Warden's coming back with the 5-7. He gets the dink and a save from Semphis. Look at that teamwork. We're looking for overtime right now between CLG and Complexity. JDM is going to be the last man standing. Smoked out but spotted before the smoke has bloomed. He sees the bomb in his crosshair, but the enemies are just around the corner. And they're watching this bomb quite carefully. And look at Semphis. Just decides to go for the peek and the spam. And they're running this clock down. We're going to see overtime here, Londers.
If anyone comes looking for him, they're making a huge mistake.
Flash comes through, but he's still holding his angle. He cannot connect. He actually gets the shot onto Sanks through the wall, down to 42 HP. But look at the amount of smokes all the time. Now he's being spammed from the catwalk, misses the shot as well. How is it live all this time? But finally, Complexity takes it, and we are going to the first overtime for the Northern Arena.
That's the first one we've seen, yeah. How many aces have we seen?
Aces?
Yeah. Was there one?
Maybe 0.
Daps? Inferno?
Sorry.
I was there.
Daps Inferno, indeed.
I was there.
You were watching it on stream from your phone in Uber.
No, I was there.
But Uber was also playing the match.
I knew it happened. You didn't know it happened.
I kind of knew. It's like, when I have to solo cast, it's a dark moment. I never know what happens in the past. I just know what's happening in the present moment.
I know.
Yes, so we had 1 ace so far. First overtime as well, but a great round, actually, for Complexity. Because they were actually broken as well on that buy. They had an AWP, they had a FAMAS, they had 2 5-7s.
Yeah.
And I think an M4 for the third.
Semphis gets 2 frags with the FAMAS. Warden gets a dink off with his 5-7. Automatic gets a kill with the AWP. It looked kind of sketchy when Tarek actually killed him with that nice peek on the side of the site. Right after that, though, 3 frags coming for coL, and JDM's left all alone. Like, why is nobody helping me?
Well, because he's done it before. He got a nice 4K to clutch the round. Some close no-scopes as well. But this time, it's not going to work. And look at it. Automatic. 3-bomb. JDM close to a 3-bomb.
Warden with the... Ooh.
Yeah, but he's been calling it for the team too.
Yo,
yeah.
the 2 men fresh out of weddings. Bottom of the scoreboard. Don't get married and play CS.
Hayes was not married, boys. Let's not start rumors here.
Also, Warden top frag yesterday. Wait, did he? I don't know. That's a miss.
He actually played his part.
He did well, yeah.
At this point, you could still see from this scoreboard that there's some carries that happen from Automatic and Roka. Warden, what position when he's playing towards CT spawn? Towards CT side. He was playing upper B. So his role right now, or for that half, was just to try to scout to see if there was going to be any pushes towards that upper B. He sees what happens. He's stuck at the van, but he's throwing the utility nades to help his teammates rotate across and support him on a retake or on the hold. That's the best timing ever in terms of getting frags and catching you sipping on Coca-Cola.
Best timing ever.
Yeah. They just don't care about you.
Shout out to CSGO Lounge.
Yes, so
Nasus.
if you guys were actually tuned in before the matchup, I think the odds were what, 65-35 in favor of CLG. And at this point, we're seeing overtime on CLG's map pick.
On CLG's map pick.
So what were the key rounds there, and who had to step up for both sides? I mean, if we're looking at CLG, we've seen it from the Deagles, from Cutler on the save rounds. We've seen it with JDM with the AWP. We've seen it with Finesse as well in that 4K that he had.
Can't forget Tim's 4K on the A site.
Right after JDM's 4K.
The 4-angle 4K.
Yeah. Did anything else really? Yes, Roka was actually on point holding the A site. Whether he played under that balcony, whether he pushed towards that A ramp, or whether he pushed towards that palace, yeah, it didn't always work. But the rounds that it did work, he was able to get 2 or 3 kills.
50% of the time, it worked 100% of the time.
No, it's 60% of the time. It works every time. Black Panther.
Yeah.
Is it called Black Panther?
Yeah. I
Right?
think so. Every time. Okay.
Yeah. You're close. I might be off, though, to name the name of the cologne from the movie. What movie is it, guys? Do you guys know? The first one was better. But now we're going to wait and see what's going to happen in this overtime. Now, you are going to remain on your sides. So Complexity will be able to stay on the CT side in this MR6. So it's going to be 3 rounds per half.
10K.
First 1 to 4.
10K?
Yes, it's 10K. It's 10K.
10K best K.
3 rounds per half. There you go.
Oh, is it
Anchorman.
Sex Panther?
Sex Panther.
Oh, okay.
Black Panther
yeah,
was...
Black Panther is an actual panther.
No,
Sex Panther is the cologne.
Well, Black Panther is actually a player for EG Canada.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was like an old school 1.5, 1.6 player for EG.
Oh, did he smell good?
Man, he smelled great. He even actually opened his own shoe store after that, after he stopped playing CS.
True fact.
In Edmonton, yeah. Actually, before Evil Geniuses became Evil Geniuses, they were just Evil Genius. And it was actually a Canadian roster of like Matt Stevenson, Jimmy Lin, Scotty Beckhold, Kurt Kolak, Black Panther. And they were actually really good for Canada. And then they sucked internationally. So, that being said, we did say the rules, literally. I don't think producer was listening to us. I'm just kidding.
The people were listening.
Yes. So that being said, before they became Evil Geniuses, there were Evil Genius, and then they expanded after that. Then they became Evil Geniuses. Food for thought.
What is the difference between Evil Genius and Evil Geniuses?
There's more than one.
But there was already more than one on Evil Genius.
Before there were actually one entity. Now there's just too many overtaking the whole world.
Okay.
I don't know, to be honest. Why did they change their names to that? I'm not sure. We should ask Alex Garfield one day. If they decide to come back to CSGO.
I don't think he has a good answer.
Should it be 1? Put 1 if you want EG to come back into the CSGO scene.
2 if you want to drop.
3 if you love your mother. So this overtime now. You do have complexity staying on the CT side. $10,000 for both teams. 3 rounds per half. Mm-hmm. At this point, you're probably going to see Semphis still with that AWP.
First to 4, by the way. If you get 4 in the 2 halves, you win. You only get 3. You split 3 for 3. Another
goes to double overtime. Yes, indeed. Now, if you're looking at Semphis with the AWP, he's been buying it often, but I don't think he's been that loud actually in terms of opping on Mirage. It's really been automatic Sanks and Roka in terms of rifling. But Semphis, he did have a few kills here and there and great support. But do you think he should have been a little bit more loud versus what we saw him do on, let's say, Cash before in the matches or Train, sorry, on the match that he played yesterday?
I mean, he wasn't superstar mode. I don't think he was doing badly with the op. It's tough. I don't think he was doing too badly. I mean, he was moving around. JDM was doing a great job of moving around. He was playing like different spots in CT often. On T side, he was picking from different places, so I thought he was doing a really good job. And maybe Semphis was hitting a few less shots. I couldn't really tell. It's kind of all in memory, so it's kind of like who I was thinking, like who I remember hit that shot at the time. If you look at the stats, I might be surprised. I feel like Semphis wasn't playing that badly.
Okay. On CLG side, should it be that on T side, they should focus on this aggressive play by Roka at A, towards Palace or towards A ramp, or should they just continue to take this mid control, which seems to be left behind and open often by complexity as soon as you got those smokes towards that catwalk, as soon as you get those smokes towards the connector side too?
Do you think Roka should?
No, do you think complexity, sorry, do you think that CLG should be focusing more on picks on that aggressive play by Roka?
Yeah.
Or should they focus more on that mid take that's always given to them?
One thing I'd like to see about the mid control is that like both of them on their CT sides, once they get mid control, they leave it for no reason. So like you could push someone to the top of garbage, right? Or you could push them all the way on a big flank to A ramp, or just leave them top mid behind the boxes. Instead, they would take mid control, see that no one was there, and then leave no one there, fall back into their sights, and it's like, why did they ever take mid control? Yeah, they have a little bit of information on the early round, but there was one round where Complexity, they pushed Warden off of top mid, and then he just came right back, and then they split connector. It's like, if they had Cutler there at top mid, they would have won that fight, they would have stopped the split. We wouldn't be in OT right now. So if you get that mid control, or if you get that kind of information, use it. Why not?
And what seems to be working more for CLG so far is that B take. Yeah. I think we've seen more successful rounds on T side for CLG on B than A. That being said, if we're going to have full 10Ks for both teams, Complexity maybe is going to think about stacking a little bit more towards B. That's where they actually got that quick 4-kill to end the round to bring it into overtime and to keep JDM stuck there at upper, who was trying to lurk around. So they really didn't give a chance for a lurker to play his role for Complexity's side. They should continue that way.
Agreed.
So we'll see what's going to happen as we're waiting for the overtime to start. I think we talked about it enough here, Launders. I think we should take a break until we figure out the live moment for this overtime on the first map between CLG and Complexity. We'll be back here for the Northern Arena. Producer's not listening to us. So we're back, ladies and gentlemen. The overtime has now started between Complexity and CLG Blue. So if you guys have just missed it, it's 15-15 on the first map. JDM, Tar, Cutler, Hayes, and Finesse with Cutler at 1 HP. Hayes already dead up against Complexity to Roka. Warden, who's already dead. Semphis, Sanks, and Automatic. Sanks trying to lurk around. We do have CLG Blue on the terrorist side. Sanks knows that somebody's lurking around towards this window. So he's just going to hold that angle. And Cutler at 1 HP. Not sure what's going to happen with that. But the bomb is on the back of Tarek. They're waiting to get this mid to A split and also from the A ramp. So they want to try to crunch it. But smokes are being thrown. Cutler finally falls down inside the winter room. But Finesse is still out in the open. He's able to take down Roka, though, to clear out a little bit of that A site. GDM has to connect a shot. He will be able to do so. Sanks falls down. Looking back towards the CT spawn. Semphis does have the op on the other side. And it's a double op setup, actually, for the CT side. They managed to take down the bomb carrier. It's a 2 versus 2. Automatic making it a 2 versus 1 op and all the way from Catwalk. And he gets the third one onto FNS. And Complexity take the lead in the first round of overtime.
CLG were really relying on FNS to get that opening frag. He did do it. They brought it to 3v3, and then they couldn't kill Sanks in the CT. Sanks got a frag for himself. JDM moved off of that once he got a kill, and then they fell apart. They had no smoke, so they relied on getting at least 2 kills. They couldn't do that. That's when they lost the round, and Complexity just capitalized.
Now FNS going for that lurker roll, or entries at least from the underpass. They're going to look for that A execution once again. At least for now, from what it looks like. 3 guys are set up at the entrance of A. Guys trying to see if he can lure something towards that B, but there's an aggressive push, actually, from Automatic with that up, and he's going to get pushed forward by Hayes at the same time. Hayes is going to run through, catch him off guard. And this is the opening for CLG Blue to work towards this B site.
Wow, that was crazy. Just Hayes, like, taking so much initiative right there and jumping through that smoke. There is that moment, wow, and getting the second entry, knowing that the person that you're about to jump through that smoke has just pulled out of smoke, is working on another play, isn't expecting you to jump through it, and you can capitalize. Look, the bomb actually goes down at A.
That's crazy.
As he was simply selling a fake, but getting 2 kills is how you lock that in. I wonder if Tar got spotted here. Oh, in the box.
Quick, become the box, Snake. Nope. He's going to get blown away by Warden, and it's a 2 versus 1. Off shot missed by JDM. That was an open shot.
Oh, that
at least he throws a molly. Yeah,
no, the smoke.
They have a smoke? Yes, they have a smoke.
Oh,
the off shot's missed. Oh, no.
Oh, right beside him.
No,
oh,
he gets it finally, and not enough time coming through. He gets a 2 versus 1. Oh, man.
Why wasn't Severus covering him?
He thought that maybe after the first 1 or 2 shots up that were missed by GDM, he would try to run out with the pistol and be like, oh my God, I'm missing all my shots. And then...
But then he hit the op shot.
Yeah, and then Semphis is still walking for a peek.
Yeah. Semphis kind of had to, like, take that round in his own hands. Like, he was relying too much on the smoke, I feel like. That was, like... I feel like you had to actually just, like, run out and stop him. Like, Warden is just sitting there defusing, and the only way he gets the defuse off is if JDM either is dead or misses his shots.
Yep.
And since he has a teammate there, he can actually count on Semphis trying to get that kill. Nice flash in the connector, yeah. Wow. Wow, with the spray through the smoke, actually gets a second one. And a third, hazed.
Welcome back from your wedding.
Started from the bottom.
And now it's just like that, a 4 versus 1 situation. It's too early to take shots for the amount of times I say just like that, right? But now FNS gets that last kill, and we're going to move down to the last round of the first half. No, actually, we already played our 3 rounds, haven't we?
Yeah, 2-1.
Well, it looks like it's going to be MR5 then.
Oh, wait, what? There's 10 rounds this half?
It looks like it. Oh, I thought it was MR3.
All right, so how does this work?
So if it's 10 rounds, usually it's max rounds 5 per half. First one is 6 wins, and it gives 16K.
Oh, yeah, okay, so first one is 6 instead of 4. Okay.
That's why I was a little bit confused. Why didn't he switch yet? But nonetheless, can't take anything away from how Hayes played that round the round before. Getting that triple kill by himself with some great support from a flash from his teammates.
Honestly, just like doing his job in such a big way. Like a lot of early kills are coming. Like Hayes, coL was able to do this to CLG in the way that Hayes is doing it to them right now. Oh, and JDM missing that peak on Sanks. He's escorting himself into connector.
He's done it before.
Yeah. Oh, FNS gets a kill as well. And they know Hayes was in connector. Sanks, though, realizes that he has to go pick up B. Whoa, can't get that frag. If he did that, FNS was super hurt. Actually, FNS was the one to get that headshot. Now it's 4v1.
It's also planted at B. Roko is stuck inside the market. He made a noise. He spotted. Triple peek coming through. Now he gets the first one. And the trade comes through. And CLG is coming back in full force now on this T side of overtime.
Smile on the face of Peta. 3-1.
So it will be the last round of this first half of overtime. Still have enough money for automatic with an op. This is not so bad because Complexity have won in a similar situation.
Oh, Roka's super blind. Actually going to push top mid with a deagle. What a fierce shot right there. Hayes, though, trades him out instantly. Gets a second kill. He's getting 2 kills per round each round in OT versus full-on rifle buys.
JDM's close.
Yeah, Sanks smells him. What'd that smell like?
Smells good. It smells like a headshot, but JDM decides to fall back. So it's Sanks and automatic against JDM, Hayes, and FNS. JDM waiting for the smoke to dissipate so he could try to get a not pick. But it's just going to stay clear for now.
Yeah, I mean, they are picking the right side right now. Sanks only has a deagle.
Are you going to go for the jump peek? JDM is just waiting there for the reaction shot as soon as he jumps up.
Yeah, and his teammates just going to walk right past them, essentially.
Smart move right now. They're going to flush him out with the molly. Flash towards catwalk. And look at that. Sanks even turns away from his monitor to get away from the flash. Gets the positioning, trying to get the kill. Does not work. He's picked off by FNS. So it's now down to a 3 versus 1. It is the last round of this first half of overtime. So automatic has to try to go for it, but JDM picks him off. And we end the half now 4-1. So 4-1 here on this overtime. First one to 6.
Yep.
And now Complexity actually take the harder side.
Yeah, Complexity take the harder side. I mean, they had those rounds had into them. I don't know if you can have your money really broken in MR10. I guess you can't, like 16K, but there's an additional, 4 rounds? So, yeah, I mean, you could actually lose all that money. They weren't really hurting, though, even on that last round.
Yeah.
So
last round, they had the op, they had the M4, they had a few 5.7s.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so they did have their money pretty much broken. And CLG earned that for themselves. We'll have to do this on CT side. And again, that is the problem with CT side, is that if you get your money broken, then it's really hard to win rounds because your rounds are so expensive, right? That it makes it so it's really easy on CT side if you have the money to do it. Guns are expensive. Your Molotovs are more expensive. You have to buy kits. These are all expenses. High maintenance.
The magic number is now 21. As Sanks and company will try to take control of the middle to start, but look at that bomb. It's still inside T-spawn. So they're going to waste a lot of time to actually run back towards T-spawn and pick it up. Automatic by getting that opening kill. They force to rotate. They're committing towards this A site, but nobody's running back to pick up the bomb. So one's going to have to run back so they lose one player.
Oh, nice shot. That was a really nice second pick from FNS.
Oh my god, so now JDM getting the op shot. Sempis is out of last man setting. Misses the quick scope. And now that puts CLG at game point situation for this first map of the series.
That was a huge hold. And suddenly OT it looks like CLG, coL never stood a chance. Like, CLG is starting to run away with this. They're just doing so well. And that round, they just hit their shots. coL didn't do anything special. We'll see. They can still do something special here. They're getting 2 ops.
Yeah, and so does CLG. So they are playing in similar fashion, and it's going to be Tarek getting the opener inside the palace, actually, to take down Semphis. So that's one op down on the other side.
That's what we see so common. Like, you can just put the ops in it. Oh, whoa.
Bomb's down,
the
that's
bomb.
it.
What the?
That's it. Rotation's going to come through very soon. As soon as they get rid of this lurker towards that B bomb site. But coL and company are looking very comfortable to win this first map. 2 more remaining, 1 more to end it, and Tarek is the one that seals the deal. And CLG take the first map, but what a great way to start the series in this grand final.
Yeah. Yeah, CLG actually do come away with it after a super close regulation. OT Warriors. That was kind of weird of Warden, like run out with the bomb. I mean, there's 3 people alive. He has the bomb. He's out on apps. The bomb goes down. That's the whole round.
Yeah.
Like, your teammates just have to come up a ramp. There's no more hiding. There's no more confusion that you can take advantage of. The CTs suddenly just play around the bomb. They don't care where you are.
But I think at the same time, he was maybe trying to call for that take towards that A site. But at the same time, I think it was actually smoked out towards the A ramp, which actually didn't give him a chance to come out as a team. There was only Warden coming out, and they all had the single focus up on that balcony to get the kill. They take Warden down. The bomb is down as well. And that's what sealed the deal right there. I mean, great rounds, great plays as well from Tarek and JDM with the AWP on that side. But what didn't work for Complexity, taking CT side first on this OT?
Their CT side?
Yeah.
Hazed.
That's
got
true.
2 opening frags every single round.
Yeah.
One round, he was selling a fake, jumped through B, jumped through a smoke, killed Warden, jumped out, killed another player in B, bombs planted at A. JDM gets the 1v2.
Yeah.
That 1v2, pretty dramatic, pretty
Actually,
unfortunate.
Yes. Lucky on his side, too.
But Hayes making it 3v5. That's how you win a round. Every round he was doing that.
And that round where he actually went up connector and had 3 kills as well. So he was actually a dominant factor for CLG in his overtime, especially playing T side. Again, like you mentioned it, that 2 versus 1 against JDM that was actually really stressful.
Yeah.
It came down to a lot of miscommunication as well between Complexity.
I mean, the fact
that would have changed things right now in his overtime.
The fact that Semphis had an op made it harder for him to take that angle, but at the same time, he just had to pull out his pistol and peek this opper because JDM's opping. So, first of all, a pistol versus an op is a lot better than a pistol versus a rifle, right? You have an easier time. All you have to do is miss 1 shot, then you can capitalize. As soon as he hears that op go off into the smoke, Semphis can wide peek and take him down. Instead, Semphis was a little bit too indecisive, let Warden pretty much sit there in the smoke while JDM missed shots, and eventually hit him. I mean, he gave him too much time.
That makes sense because the focus wasn't even on Semphis.
Yeah.
It was just spamming through the smoke to try to get down the diffuser.
Semphis wasn't even there. That was the problem.
Yeah. So it's basically a 1v1.
Yeah.
Semphis lost. Unfortunate. But the first map is going to be in favor of Counterlogic Gaming in this best out of 3 in the grand finals of Northern Arena. This was actually CLG's map. So we'll be moving on to the second map, which will be on Train. And that is actually Complexity's map choice. Let's talk about Train a little bit before we take a break and hop into that second map. So Train, we mentioned it before. Warden says it's his favorite map. He loves calling it as well. But at the same time, CLG is not terrible on Train.
Yeah, they had the 16-1. They did lose a map.
Yep.
Mixed results. I personally don't know. I don't think coL was... Like, I think there's coL and CLG have both played good and bad on the map. So, let's wait and see. Okay,
I guess we'll wait and see then. We'll take a quick break, ladies and gentlemen. When we come back, it'll be the second map between Complexity and CLG. So for @VanZilly and @CSBOXR, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.